Deep fake porn might finally destroy civilization. You know, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of fate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. And frankly, it's not going to be fire or ice. It's going to be deepfake porn. Because there's a new article that just came out from, I think, Wired. Deepfake videos are skyrocketing. The biggest search engines in the world are funneling a ton of clicks to these websites. They're mostly not for just fun little jokes. It's largely for porn, since all developments on the internet are driven by porn. And the deep fakes, apparently, there are at least 250,000 videos or thereabout that have been uploaded to the top 35 websites set up either exclusively or partially to deep fake porn videos in the past 7 years, according to the researcher. Over the first 9 months of this year, 113,000 videos were uploaded to these websites. So these are just like weird, specifically deep fake porn websites. That's not even taking into account the major porn websites, which constitute the lion's share of the internet. The deepfake porn issue has affected celebrities, and some celebrities have sued over this, and they've taken all sorts of legal action. My greater fear for this is it probably already is, but I suspect it's going to affect just ordinary people who don't have a public profile. And who's going to drive it? It's going to be people who are addicted to porn, who's addicted to porn, young men, I guess, and older men, I guess, and increasingly some women. And what they're going to do, you see how Midjourney works right now. You see how ChatGPT works. You can put in a very complex command, the Pixar movie of Michael Knowles eating a tuna hoagie in Timbuktu, and 60 seconds later you get this image that looks very accurate. Pretty soon it's going to, if it isn't already, it's going to be that cute girl in my math class doing unspeakable things in whatever sort of setting, and it's going to spit that out too. In fact, according to this report, it already is. And then what happens? That is a form of, I don't think I'm overstating it, that's a form of digital rape. You are being violated to such a degree. And yet, right now, it seems like there's no real legal recourse because it's all just kind of fake. So it would be, the rudimentary way of doing this would be if you cut out a picture of someone's head and you just pasted it on the picture of another person's body. But it's not even really another person's body. It's just a fake body created by a computer. But it looks as though you are putting this person in a position that is extremely shameful and embarrassing and disgraceful. So what do you do about that? On the one hand, just as a political matter, we're never going to be able to trust videos and photos again, which maybe is a good thing. It'll reduce to some degree political scandal and allow us to talk more about issues. It's going to severely hamper our ability to adjudicate important political questions like war. We're not going to know what we can trust. Already in this war, you're seeing that issue. Because you're seeing AI-generated images that look indistinguishable almost from actual videos of the war. And then at the personal level, you're going to see people, you're going to see young people, you're going to see people in high school, you're going to see people in college being violated in this way. So what do? We have to get ahead of this issue, just like in the 90s, the Republicans and Democrats came together to try to get ahead of the internet porn issue until some stupid liberal judges shot it down based on an erroneous reading of the Constitution. We've got to try to get ahead of this. I think you go after the deepfake porn in the same way we go after prostitution, which is that maybe you try to punish the customers, the users, but ultimately I think you've got to punish the pimps. And in this case, that means you've got to punish the hosts. You've got to punish the people who are hosting and encouraging this stuff, which means you might have to rewrite parts of one of those laws from the 1990s, the Communications Decency Act, to stop giving so much protection to big internet companies that host this kind of smut. But just as you would go after a pimp for human trafficking, I think you got to go after those producers, because obviously you're not going to go after the girl. You could go after the consumer, but in many cases, the consumers of this kind of porn are going to be teenage boys. And so what are you going to do? You're going to lock up a teenage boy for making some weirdo porn? Maybe you will, but I don't know, you're going to lock up a lot of teenage boys in America. We've got to take a more proactive stance as a political order and say, if you, an adult with a bank account, with a business, who are preying on young girls and young men with this kind of smut. If you engage in that kind of business, you go to jail for a long, long time. Right now, go to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. It's extremely important to protect your online privacy with a VPN, and choosing a VPN you trust is equally as important. I can say with full confidence that ExpressVPN is the best VPN on the market. Here's why. Number one, ExpressVPN does not log your online activity. They've developed a trusted server technology that makes it impossible for their servers to store any data at all. Number two, speed. ExpressVPN does not slow down your user experience. You can even stream HD videos with zero buffering. Number three, ExpressVPN is incredibly easy to use. Just fire up that app and tap one button to connect. Not just me saying this, Business Insider, The Verge, and many other tech journals rate ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. Protect yourself with a VPN that I trust. Use my link, expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show today. Get 3 months free on a 1-year package, expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show today. Tim Scott does not seem to be doing very well in the presidential race. Remember, there's a presidential race going on? A lot of people sort of forgot that. Tim Scott's super PAC is pulling millions of dollars from TV ads. So New York Times is reporting that Trust in the Mission PAC signaled it would cut millions in TV ads because after millions of dollars in TV ad buys, Tim Scott's numbers have hardly budged. And Rob Collins, who's co-chairman of the Tim Scott Super PAC, says, "We aren't going to waste our money when the electorate isn't focused or ready for a Trump alternative. We've done the research. We've studied the focus groups. We've been following Tim on the trail. This electorate is locked up, and money spent on mass media is not going to change minds until we get a lot closer to voting." Okay, so they're saying, Tim Scott's still in the race. We're still backing Tim Scott, but the TV ads we're running so far, people like Trump too much still. So we got to wait for them to like Trump a little bit less, and then the numbers can start to budge. I don't really think that this issue is about Tim Scott or Donald Trump or any of the candidates. I think the reason that it's smart for the Scott PAC to pull the millions out of TV ads is because TV ads don't work nearly as well as they used to, because it's 2023, not 1993. TV ads do not matter that much. Linear TV, so that's cable and network TV, make up less than half of TV viewership now, which doesn't even make it. What does that mean? It means that when people watch TV, when you sit down on your couch, you are most likely watching streaming services. Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, hopefully Daily Wire Plus, hopefully Bent Key. You're not watching cable. I have never personally subscribed to cable ever in my entire life. I've been on cable TV many, many times. That is part of my job. I still have never subscribed. I don't know maybe any millennials who subscribe to TV. Very, very few, if any. Do Zoomers subscribe to cable TV or network TV? No. Also, the targeting is just way worse on TV. With digital ad targeting, you can they know every single thing about us. Every thought that pops into our head, our iPhone somehow records, and then you get the ads delivered to you. So this is a generational issue. And you're seeing it reflected, by the way, in the campaigns. Donald Trump, I know he's not exactly a spring chicken, though he seems fairly energetic. Donald Trump is running a campaign that appeals to young voters, much more than, say, the Pence campaign, much more than, say, the Tim Scott campaign or the Nikki Haley campaign. I like all three of those people personally. They're very nice people. But it is simply a fact. Their campaigns are more appealing toward boomers and maybe some of the Gen Xers. Who appeals to the millennials and Zoomers? It's Ron DeSantis. It's Donald Trump. It's Vivek Ramaswamy. It's Doug Burgum. No, maybe not Doug Burgum. It's those guys. And those are the guys who are campaigning mostly online and in inventive ways, not on TV. Boy, what a great clip that was. Now, ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.